Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Gayu J back with another video, aka Dream, and welcome. I've received over 12 emails asking different types of questions in regards to my last video where I spoke about deportation, and I've also had a few Instagram personal messages, and I didn't want to wait until Thursday to make a second video. So this is in response to the questions that you guys, some of you had. And before I go any further, I would like to say that I would like for you to please share this video with someone that you may know that may need this video. Perhaps you're not directly affected, but I'm sure that many of us may know someone who this message could be for. An I-601, or should I say an I-601, there's two types. There's an I-601 and there's an I-601A waiver, and that's a waiver for inadmissibility. Basically, for example, let's says a parent is being deported, and said parent was the sole provider, or said parent was bringing in like hardship. There will be hardship to the United States family if this person were to be deported, or let's say the person is already deported. You can still do an I-601 to bring the person back into the United States. Let me just let you guys know this. Please do not lie on the I-601. Do not create stories or situation. You do not want to lie to immigration. I tell people all the time, do not lie, just be honest. They are well aware that hardships are created when things like this happen. So I am going to go over the different types of documents. So an I-601 waiver is not only used for someone that is married. An I-601 waiver can be used. Maybe there's a mom who've had children in the U.S. and the mom is being deported. So the I-601 can be used to prove that having the mom being removed from the United States creates hardship for the United States citizen. And there's documents, different types of documents that one need. So I will tell you the type of documents that you will need in order to submit the I-601. You need a signed, notarized affidavit confirming the content of the affidavit submitted by your qualifying relative. Basically, your qualifying relative, how are you guys related? Are you guys married? Is it your children? And so forth. If it's your children, you will submit birth certificate and so forth. If it's a significant other, meaning a husband or a wife, then you will provide a marriage certificate. And I know there's a lot of time there are states that allows you to have common law husbands and wives. My state does not allow it, but the state next to me, which is Rhode Island, does allow common law marriages. To explain common law marriages, there's a lot of time folks live in with someone and they're not legally married, but they refer to said person as husband and wives. And if you live in a state that does not recognize that type of thing, then you would need to provide how you guys met, what your relationship, and how she would suffer if your waiver application is denied. Make sure you use your own words, I know a lot of us will be focused on grammar. Use your own words. These documents should not be carbon copies of each other. A copy of every page of your passport. So you each will need a copy of your passport. Sometimes someone that's being deported may not have a passport, but either way, try to get a copy of the passport. You need a certified copy of your birth certificate. If the birth certificate is not in English, you would need a certified translator if it's not in English. And also, if you are married, you need a certified copy of your marriage certificate or your marriage license. However, you guys refer to, however you want to say it, certificate or license, same thing. You need photos of you, how, this is your husband and wife, and you need to prove, like, you know, if this person is gonna cause, if this person being out of the country is causing you hardship, I'm sure you have to have some sort of picture. You have to have a history with said person. And if you are married, you should be filing taxes with your spouse. So those things you will need. Like I said, those pictures are not just any pictures. You need pictures with you guys together at social occasions and stuff like that. And if, let's say, if it's a parent that has been taken away from their children, then you would need proof of that. I know there's some cases where the parent has been away from the child for a long time because some parents are away in prison. But I'm sure that prison allow you to take pictures. I've seen pictures that people are allowed to take pictures in prison. So if you have those pictures too, you can definitely provide that. Also, I-601 does not work alone by itself. In order to submit an I-601, you would need an I-130 with the I-601. You cannot decide, oh, I'm just going to submit an I-601. You need someone to petition on your behalf. So the I-601 must be submitted. It's with the I-130, and this person will be doing it on your behalf. I'm sure there's plenty of questions from those are the documents they're going to be needing from you. But then you also going to need documents from other sources. And you're going to need to prove documents providing adverse conditions in your home country. So basically, I'm going to use Haiti because Haiti is just my country of choice at the moment. So you would need, if said person is already in Haiti or being deported in Haiti, and you would need to news report, you need reports from the United Nations, you need, let's say there's civil unrest in the country, you need to prove that. And you also need to prove that you going back to Haiti or you living in Haiti is a threat to you. So you need to prove that. You need character references from priests, from pastors. You need character references on police station. You would need one from the United States as well, one from the foreign country. You need character references from the community which you've lived in. Now, let's say you're fighting a deportation case and you're filing an I-601. What you can do doing that is you can, let's say the country you're gonna be deported to, you can try to find news reports, information, how's the country going and so forth. I'm trying my best not to make this video long because there's so much stuff that needs to be covered. And you guys can find this information on the USCIS.gov website. It is available to you. And I don't know if I've mentioned it. Each application that's issued by USCIS, they give you an instruction on how to break it down. But again, you may need someone to translate that for you. So if you have questions, please speak with a lawyer that is experienced in said matter. Like I said, do not hire a divorce lawyer to fight an immigration battle for you. It's just setting yourself up for failure. If you have questions, please do your research on a great, amazing lawyer, because there are excellent lawyers out there and there are also horrible lawyers. But please choose that wisely. You need copies of any awards that you might have won. Like, let's say you were working in the States and, for example, you were like employee of the month, because the way the I-601 waiver works is that you have to prove that you were in a good standing citizen, both here and you have to prove you were a good standing citizen here in the U.S. Let's say you were sent back to your country already, and now you are trying to apply with this waiver. Please, please, please do not lie on your application. You cannot submit an I-601 waiver without the I-130, because let's say your I-130, I-601 is approved. Yeah, you're no longer inadmissible, but how do you plan on coming back to the United States? So make sure that you have someone, a relative, or your kid can file for you. I believe they have to be 21 and older to file for you. I know there's a lot of people that think once you're deported, you can't come back into the U.S. There are all types of ban that's issued when someone is deported. Sometimes you get a 5-year ban. A lot of times when you get a 5-year ban, it's for a false misrepresentation. Sometimes you get a 10-year ban, a 15-year ban, a 20-year ban. It all depends how the judge, how many years the judge decides to give you. But let me just mention this, okay? Let's say you've been in your country and let's say you were deported and you had a 5-year ban. And now you've been in your country for 7 years. So technically the ban is no longer active in the sense where you've already done your 5 years. You are still considered inadmissible to the United States. Even if you've spent 5 years already, you are still considered inadmissible. If you've spent the time that the United States has requested for you to spend out there, there's another waiver that is totally different from this waiver I just mentioned. But I can't cover this waiver in this video because I don't want to sit here and bore you to death. So let's say you've been deported, you've done your 10-year mark, you are still inadmissible to the United States. But the good news is there's hope. There's hope. And my advice to you all is that make sure that you rehabilitate it, like you not doing the same thing you were doing. Make sure you're able to, because you're going to need letters from the country. You're going to need letters from the police station to prove that you've been a good standing citizen. And, you know, they have to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself. So I said this all the time, please do not lie on your application. I know that Haiti is dealing with a lot of civil unrest. I know other countries are dealing with it too. I'm not familiar with other countries or what they're dealing with. But if I had to do the research, I can do the research. So again, if you need to hire an attorney, please make sure your attorney is knowledgeable in terms of immigration. Make sure they know what they're doing. Always says, how many cases have you won? Anytime a lawyer say this to you, run. If you go to a lawyer and you explain your situation and the lawyer says, don't worry, we got this, I can help you win. Run. It's like you're going to a cardiologist and the cardiologist seeing something's wrong with your heart and they're saying, don't worry, I've made plenty of hearts before. No, don't fall for it. Anytime lawyers are not supposed to make promises. You can't, as attorneys, you can't make promises. Lawyers are not supposed to advise you to lie. Anytime a lawyer says, I can tell you what to say to get this approved quickly, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Make sure you are hiring a reputable attorney. And since this person is you're the employer and they're the employee, you need to interview them. You need to ask them questions. Where did you go to school? You said you've been doing immigration. Did you take the federal bar as an immigration attorney? You need to do that. When you did your undergrad, were you magna cum laude or something? You need to ask those questions to see who you're dealing with. And if you have more questions about the I-601 waivers, keep the emails coming. But please hire a reputable lawyer, someone who's going to do good work for you. That's not going to take your money, and that's not going to give you false hope, because false hope does exist. And especially if you're in a vulnerable situation, especially if you're in a third world country, you become vulnerable. And a lot of time they'll see that and they'll play on your weakness. Please don't allow someone to do that just because you've been fortunate enough to be deported. But again, just because you're deported, life is not over. You can come back into the United States with an I-601 approved waiver. And for you to get those waivers approved, please don't lie. Don't lie. Don't BS them, because they will catch you. Please don't lie. And if you have any more questions, keep the emails coming. Share this video with a friend, with a family. I'll keep the information coming. I promise you to do that. Promise me you're going to keep sharing, subscribe, and so that we can grow the family. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to go to Philodom's channel for all your Haiti dosage. Thank you again. And I hope I've covered everything. If I missed something, let me know. I will cover a different type of waiver next week, which will be the I-212 waiver. So look forward to that. Thank you so much for your time. God bless, and be kind to one another. Bye-bye.